right, thank you for joining. Today we'll go over ADA, USDT on the Binance chart. So just so you see, we've had a lot of price action and price is just stuck in this range, right? I pulled a couple fixed range volume profile tools here of the previous weeks just to see where volume is displaced over the previous weeks. And last week, it was a very compressed week, right? As you can see. So this is last week's price action. We are now pretty much trading right above it, aiming for the previous week point of control, right? Which is just acting as a magnet at this very moment. All right, previous week, point of control. So in my opinion, based on what I'm seeing here, with ADA pumping to the upside, I'm expecting price to at least get to this previous week point of control at around 69 cents. The next target after that would be the value area high at 72 cents. If we could flip that into support, then we're looking at bigger resistance at 80 cents, right? Just keeping things very simple. Now this is the weekly supply, and inside the weekly we have a daily supply, right? So right now, let me go ahead and I did update the, let me update the previous day highs and lows because this is a little bit distracting. To be honest, I don't even, there you go, Sunday, look how tight that is. I don't really even like keeping that on a chart. I like doing the, let's see here. Oh, I moved the wrong one. Okay, 1 second. Put this back here, put this here. But yeah, I don't really like doing the weekend highs and lows because the weekends are usually extremely compressed. Right, as you can see, like look at this. This was the entire trading day for Saturday. Look how compressed that was. And then we finally broke out and we are just moving to the upside now. So typically I like to just leave Friday's high and Friday's low, because that's the last day where we had a New York session, a high volume session. So that's like almost like a true high in my opinion. So I tend to just leave the Saturday, Sunday highs and lows. Well, Saturday high and low kind of ignored. And as you can see, right, look, price got up to Friday's high. That's where we got an actual resistance before impulsing out of it. So what can we expect next? Like I said, price to at least rotate up to the previous week's point of control at around 69 cents before possibly getting a rejection. If we do get a rejection up here, it would be a decent area to short, targeting these point of controls, right? There's a naked point of control right here from last week. So these would be some very good targets, right? If price comes up, fails, target 1, target 2, target 3. Just keeping things very simple. And if we keep getting very bullish, like I said, we have a daily level at around 80 cents. That's going to be the next target. And in my opinion, I am more bullish now than bearish, just because we had this massive sell side imbalance. The chart is very messy. Let's go ahead and let's remove some of this stuff. All right. Just keep the previous levels on here. So yeah, we can possibly get a push up to here. Would be nice to sweep last week's high. If we don't get that sweep, we can just continue aiming lower and lower. I'm expecting at least another test of the lows here if we get some selling pressure at the highs. But if not, you can clearly see, right, like September highs and lows was a very interesting range, right? If we can reclaim these lows, then that would be nice, and then we could just aim for September highs, which is around 95 cents. So right now we are looking bullish, low time frame, bullish market structure, right? So there was a pivot here. We just made a higher high over this pivot, successfully made a higher low, and we just made another higher high. So I'm expecting to see an even bigger push here possibly price to come back down, maybe retest this area at around 65 cents before continuing its bullish move to the upside. Right? So very interesting area to go long in on ADA. I think not terrible, right, in terms of where to buy this asset, if you're going to get a discount or not, considering the price action and where price is, the overall range. Look, this was the range from 2024, right? The low was at 27 cents. That's exactly where we tested. And the high for last year was $1.31. So we're pretty much right there in the middle at around 70 cents. Pretty much right there in the middle, right? So it is something to keep in mind. So let's just say we were to pull a fixed range volume profile. Let's see. Yeah, so taking in last year's volume and this year's volume, the point of control sits at last week's high, right? So that's very important to keep in mind. That just shows you that price is typically going to go towards the point of control, and this is a very massive point of control. So yeah, in my opinion, I would be aiming for 72 cents. And if we get the full value rotation, $1.02 is the overall target, right? And then let's see for here. Yeah, so not much has changed. So yeah, if we do just the year to date fixed range volume profile, year to date, yeah, pretty much everything's lining up, right? Price held at the value area low. Point of control is the next resistance, and then the value area high of 2025 sits at around 92 cents. So definitely keep that in mind. Clear targets. I'm going to keep this on here, actually. I do like having this. It just seems to make a lot more sense. And yeah, that's going to be the overall target. And then let's see here. Let's just pull from this impulse. Yeah, slightly different. Yeah, slightly different. Let's see from this consolidation. Yeah, slightly different, but I'm going to keep it as it is. I am liking the way that this is looking, though, for sure. And it's just increasing my bias that we will rotate towards 72 cents and hopefully get up to 92 cents. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for ADA. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and comment below, share this video, and yeah, looking forward to making another one. See you next time. Take care.